What's going on, guys? Rdapdan here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday. Hope you guys all had a great week. My day is about finished, so I thought I would come on and say hi since it's been a few days. I really wanted to touch base on those of you that need specific help, and maybe you don't even know what area exactly of help you need, but you know you need more help than maybe just watching the videos. Um, I have been working more and more with individuals, basically consulting with them on not just preparing them for RDAP, but also increasing their chances of additional halfway house, helping them get additional halfway house, specifically if maybe your case manager while you're in prison only recommends you to get 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and then your halfway house comes back and you've got 6 months when you can qualify for up to a year. These are things that we have the ability to help you with, especially writing letters, character reference letters to the judge, basically building your new character, not while you're in prison or not when you're getting ready to get out, but starting to build your new character and really the picture you want people to see so they see you more than just for what the crime is that you committed. Building that character, redefining yourself is something that you should be starting now. And I think sometimes people are like, well, what can you really do for me? Or what does a service like that entail? Or how does it work? You know, other than the obvious things like helping you qualify for RDAP, helping you understand the ins and outs of RDAP, the different phases, the level of expectation, the level of participation that you're going to need to do in RDAP, that's just a small part of it. Beyond that, just daily coaching. Once you're in prison, you're going to have days where you are so down and so funked out that you feel like it's impossible to get your mood back to where you really need it to be to get through that situation better than when you went into it. And you're going to find that a lot of guys in there are negative, and that negativity feeds itself. So having somebody that you can talk to on the outside that's not necessarily going to tell you what you want to hear, but tell you the things that you need to hear to kind of snap you back into reality. It's a great thing to be able to have someone that you can reach out to like that. And if you don't have somebody like that, or you're not 100% sure that you have somebody like that, you can always add me to your core links, just rdapdan@gmail.com. And anytime you're feeling that pressure, especially if you're in RDAP and you're going through the motions there where at times it can feel super stressful, a lot of anxiety, and you might just feel that you need to talk to somebody that's been through it, reach out to Rdap Dan. I love talking to you guys. I love listening to your comments. We also have the ability now to run a complete background on you to make sure that there's no open detainers in other states, no open cases, no outstanding warrants. And the reason why this is real important going into prison is for basically 3 really good reasons, other than knowing that you have a clear record going in, is having any type of open cases, open warrants, detainers, anything like that is going to, at the very least, it's going to stop you from going to a camp. So if you're camp eligible, you're going to end up going to a low, because if you have any type of open cases, it prevents you going to what's called open custody. Basically, camps are open custody because there's usually no fence, or put a manager variable on you. Even though your points are eligible for a camp, a manager variable will get tacked on to you and put you into a low until you get that case final dispositioned, case closed, dismissed, whatever it's going to be. So these are things we can help you with before you go in. We can check all of that just to make sure, have a clear conscience. Some of the other stuff that you might want to take advantage of, that is some services now that we're starting to be able to offer. Character reference letters, which a lot of this is the letters you're going to be given to the judge, letters that you're going to have your family and your friends, coworkers, bosses, anybody that you want a letter from to help base your character, to help show the courts who you really are. If these letters aren't done properly, a lot of the times people just write these letters with, I'm so sorry for what I did. I wish I hadn't done it. I'm a good father. I can't be away from my kids that long. My kids need me. I'm the sole provider in my household. You're focusing on all the reasons that you're thinking of. And even though they might be valid reasons, the common response from a judge or anybody else is going to be, these are things that you should have thought about before you made the mistakes and the choices that you made. So part of what we help you do is guiding you in the character reference writing aspect of it, on spelling out, taking responsibility for what you did first and foremost, and then showing them who you really are and why you should be returned to society in a timely manner. You already know you're probably going to prison. Now it's trying to minimize the amount of damage that's going to happen. Damage control is huge, especially when it comes to your reputation. Trying to repair a damaged reputation can be costly, it can be time consuming, it can be overwhelming. And the last thing you want to do is, when you get out of prison, every time your name comes up anywhere, whether it be a Google search or somebody's looking you up on Facebook, and all of a sudden, whatever your crimes were pops up all over the internet. So those are some other things that we're able to help you with if you're interested in it. But I suggest, if you guys have any questions about what can be done to minimize your amount of time in prison, maximize your exposure to things like halfway house availability, different programs, Rdap, what you should be doing while you're in prison to increase the exposure to the halfway house at a later date, trying to give the counselor reasons to why he should put you in for a year halfway house. Why should you be returned faster than somebody else? What have you done while you're sitting in federal prison to show them that you're ready to return to society and be productive and show remorse for what you've done? We help you write a complete plan from A to Z, and then we manage that plan with you while you're in federal prison. We manage that plan with your friends and your family members. If you have children or parents that maybe need some support while you're there on what to expect, maybe they have questions that you're not thinking of asking right now because you're so overwhelmed, and they need someone to turn to know how to deal with what you're going through better. What can they be doing better? These are all things these are questions that you guys should be asking. And some of you are asking it, and that's kind of why I'm posting the video. Is I realize that they're really good questions, and I wish more people were asking them, because it helps me dig deeper into myself to what I can offer to you guys. That's not run of the mill. And, I just want to make sure that whatever services you guys are getting is going to benefit you. We want to be able to help everybody and anybody that's going into federal prison. There's nothing more terrifying than not knowing what's next and not knowing what kind of fate you can expect. Once you have an idea about what's going to go down, once you have an idea of how much time you might actually do, it starts to allow you to breathe easier, which it starts to allow your friends and family members to breathe easier. If any of you have ever had a family member or a close relative or close anybody to you that's passed away, and it wasn't sudden, maybe through cancer or some sort of illness where it was kind of dragged out, if you remember how stressful that was on you because you're watching them suffer and you feel completely helpless, like there's nothing you can do. And once they pass, there's a weird sense of relief on your part because they're done suffering. And sometimes you feel guilty for feeling that way, but really it's natural because your hands were tied. There's nothing you can do. And that's how a lot of people feel about our loved ones that are getting ready to go into federal prison. We see how stressed out they are. I know how stressed out I was and how stressed out I was probably making people around me. And once I got into prison, I could just see that everybody was relieved. And you start to see that they go back to their normal lives, which in a lot of cases means slowly they start not communicating as much with you while you're in federal prison. Not because they don't care, they don't want to, but their lives continue. The day-to-day that they're going through continues. Your life kind of stops while you're in federal prison to a certain extent, where you're super focused on the outside. Every little letter you get, every email to you is the end of it means everything. You're so excited to get those letters. So the days that you don't get letters, it's really intensified with how you're feeling. But it's not intensified to people on the outside because their life doesn't stop just because ours are in prison. So that's something you guys need to keep in mind, is not to take it out too much on your friends and family. Take advantage of this time that you're preparing and be thankful that you're not sitting in a holding cell in county right now, because you'd have no ability to do anything. You have the luxury of determining how you're going to enter prison. You have choices you can make right now, and sitting on your hands is not a good option. thinking that you're going to find a way to get out of going to prison is probably not that likely if you're wrapped up with the feds. Only thing you can do is minimize the damage. So right now you should go take a look at my website, rdapdan.com. You should email me if you have questions, rdapdan@gmail.com. You should call me if you have questions right now, or text me, 509-434-4695. I return my text, I return my phone calls, I return my emails. If you just need a phone call or you need somebody to talk to or somebody to stress out to, I'm your guy, Rdap Dan. With that said, so say goodbye to Tony Robbins because he just nosedived off my desk. All right, guys, take it easy. Rdap Dan.